Before we get into this, smash the like button, subscribe if you love real women's college basketball breakdowns, and drop a comment right now, because what Dawn Staley said about a freshman just changed how this rivalry feels. Because this wasn't trash talk. This wasn't coach speak. This was Dawn Staley putting the spotlight on Mia Pauldo before Tennessee even stepped onto the floor against South Carolina. Because this wasn't trash talk. This wasn't coach speak. This was Dawn Staley putting the spotlight on Mia Pauldo because this wasn't trash talk. This wasn't coach speak. This was Dawn Staley putting the spotlight on Mia Pauldo before Tennessee even stepped onto the floor against South Carolina. Because this wasn't trash talk. This wasn't coach speak. So hit like if you respect real hoop knowledge. Subscribe if you don't miss stories the mainstream skips. And comment below, does Mia Pauldo rise to the moment, or is South Carolina about to remind everyone why this is their house? So hit like if you This matchup had everything before the ball was even tipped. History. Rivalry. Expectations. And right in the middle of it all was a freshman guard still learning how fast this level can be, but already forcing legends of the game to pay attention. When Dawn Staley speaks, the women's basketball world listens. She doesn't hand out praise casually. She doesn't gas players up just to be polite. So when she was asked about Tennessee freshman Mia Pauldo ahead of the Lady Vols clash with South Carolina, her answer stopped people in their track. Not because it was loud, as it was dramatic, but because it was telling. Staley didn't talk about points per game. She didn't talk about rankings. She talked about. Dawn Staley said Mia Pauldo was very comfortable in her. That one sentence revealed everything. Because comfort, real comfort, at this level, in this environment, against this opponent, is rare. And when a coach who's built dynasties notices it in a freshman, that means something bigger is happening. Comment matters, you have to understand the stage Mia Pauldo was about to walk onto. South Carolina isn't just another road game. It's one of the most hostile environments in women's college basketball. The crowd is relentless. The pressure is suffocating. And the margin for error is microscopic. This is where veteran guards hesitate. This is where freshmen disappear. This is where reputations get tested. And yet, Dawn Staley didn't frame Pauldo as a player who might be over. She framed her as someone who already. That tells you how Pauldo has been carrying herself all season. At Tennessee, Mia Pauldo didn't play like someone waiting for permission. She didn't defer just because the name on the jersey was heavy. She didn't look rushed. She didn't look scared. She looked. That's what Staley. Not flashy bravado. Not freshman adrenaline. But an internal confidence that doesn't shake when the lights get. And for a coach like Dawn Staley, who has faced every type of guard imaginable, that's the first sign of a problem for. Because comfortable players make dangerous decisions. They don't panic when trapped. They don't force passes. They don't rush shots just to prove they let the game come. That's exactly what Tennessee has been quietly building around Mia Pauldo. The Lady Vols are in transition. New era. New identity. New expectations. And in the middle of that reset, Pauldo has emerged not as a loud leader, but as a steady. She doesn't dominate headlines yet. She doesn't chase viral moments. But possession by possession, she's been earning. Her coaches trust her. Her teammates trust her. And now, clearly, opposing legends are. When Dawn Staley says a freshman is comfortable, she's really saying she's not afraid. And that matters in a rivalry like. Because Tennessee versus South Carolina isn't just a game. It's a measuring stick. It's where young players find out who they really are. It's where confidence either hardens or. Staley understands that psychology better than. She's coached Olympic gold medalists. She's mentored All-Americans. She's watched freshmen melt under less pressure. So when she pointed out Pauldo's poise, she was acknowledging that the moment wasn't too big for her. That would dominate. It doesn't mean Tennessee would win. But it means something equally important. Pauldo wouldn't. And in a program like Tennessee, trying to reassert itself among the elite, that's foundation. Because you don't rebuild dominance with fear. You rebuild it with players who walk into arenas like South Carolina and feel like they belong. That's why this comment resonated beyond a pregame sound. It wasn't hype. It wasn't strategy. It was and respect, when it comes from Dawn Staley, is as the game approached, that one sentence added a new layer to the matchup. Suddenly, people weren't just watching South Carolina's dominance. They were watching Mia Pauldo's how would she handle the pressure? How would she respond to defensive intensity? Would her comfort show up when things got physical? Because comfort doesn't mean calm when everything is easy. It means calm when everything is chaos. That's the test Staley was subtly pointing. And regardless of the final score, that moment, Dawn Staley acknowledging a freshman's inner confidence, felt like a passing glance into the because today, Mia Pauldo is just a promising, but players who are comfortable in their skin this early? They usually don't stay quiet for they grow. They harden. They learn how to control games instead of survive. And one day, it won't be Dawn Staley talking about them ahead of them. It'll be coaches warning their teams. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Dawn Staley's words and what they really mean for Tennessee and Mia Pauldo, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. Do you think Mia Pauldo is the future of Tennessee basketball? Or was Dawn Staley simply acknowledging raw potential? Let me know your take, and I'll see you in the next. And that's the part people will remember long after the final. Not the score. Not the highlights. But the moment Dawn Staley looked at a freshman and saw confidence instead of. Because in Tennessee and South Carolina, respect is earned before dominance ever shows up on the stat sheet. And Mia Pauldo just earned something far bigger than attention. She earned acknowledgement from the standard. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button. It tells YouTube this is the kind of women's basketball content you want more of. Subscribe if you're here for real stories, real analysis, and the future of the game. And comment below, did Dawn Staley see something everyone else is missing, or is Mia Pauldo exactly who Tennessee has been waiting for? This rivalry going in this generation. I'll see you in the next.